Okay, now let's look at today's exercise. So find the domain of a function and write the final answer in the interval notation. So for example, we have fx is equivalent to square root of 4x minus 3 over x squared minus 4. So since in the previous slide, I have already give you the example how to find out domain for the function separately. So that's why in this exercise, so I will give you directly which is quite difficult question lah for this one. So it's already combined between, let's say for the first one, it is combination between how to find out domain for the root of even number and how to find out domain for the rational function. So let's look at to how to solve this question. So square root of 4x. So let's say first, in this case, we have two parts. Satu, the terms for the square root of 4x minus 3, and the second one, the term for the 1 over x squared minus 4. So it is not actually quadratic function. It is actually when you try to split between this function, you will get 4x square root of 4x minus 3 multiply with 1 over x squared minus 4. So for this one, it is in the category of root of even number, and for this one, it is in the category of rational function. Therefore, it is not necessary for you to split. So for this one, I just want to show you we have two different type of function. So you have to find out separately. At the end, we have to combine by using line graph. So for the first term, square root of 4x minus 3, it is in the category of root of even number. So when it is in general, when you have any root of even number, x must be bigger than equivalent to 0. Therefore, what is your x? What is the function inside this square root? So the function is 4x minus 3. So it must be bigger than equivalent to 0. 4x must be bigger than equivalent to 3, and x must be bigger than equivalent to 3 over 4. So that is the domain for the first term. And how about the domain for the second term? So for the second term, so I just put x squared minus 4. So understood this x squared minus 4 is actually rational function. It's not quadratic. So x squared minus 4, so it is in the category of rational function. So for the x squared minus 4, so it is, since it is rational function, so for the any rational function, x squared minus 4, any term in your denominator, so how to find out domain for this kind of function? X cannot be 0. So what is your x now? So your x is quadratic. X squared minus 4 cannot be 0. Therefore, x minus 2, x plus 2 cannot be 0. So x cannot be plus minus 2. So this is two restricted values for this term, for the term of 1 over x squared minus 4. So the final domain is the combination between that two domain. So you have to combine everything. So the lowest values we have negative 2, and then we have 3 over 4, and then we have 2. So what is the domain for the first term? The domain is 3 over 4 until infinity. So this is the domain for the first term, for the square root of 4x minus 3. So bigger than equivalent to, so that's why it is on the right side. And then the next one, the domain is x cannot be plus minus 2. So actually, the meaning of x cannot be plus minus 2, how can you draw the line graph? It can be all real number from negative infinity until infinity, but you have to exclude negative 2 and 2. So we will put hole in the values of negative 2 and 2. So you will get this kind of line graph for the second term. Therefore, the final answer is the intersection line between these two. So the line is intersect on this side. Betul? So the intersect dekat sini. So the final domain for this function, so the domain of this function, so starting from 3 over 4. So this one is dot. This one also dot. When it is just a line, meaning that is included lah ataupun dot. Therefore, the lowest values for your x is 3 over 4. Is it until infinity? No. So it is not until infinity. So dekat sini, walaupun it is redundant, but one dot, another one is whole. So you cannot include 2 as your domain. So you have to open bracket at the values of 2 and then union, open back 2 until infinity. So this is the final domain of this function. So in other words, you have to find out the intersection between whatever how many terms that you have in the function. So for example, let's say for this one, for the third question, you have 3 type of function. The first one is linear, the second one is rational, the third one is the root of even number. So you need to find out intersection for all that term punya domain by using line graph. So I want you to try out the whole question B, C, D and also E. So we will discuss during next class. Okay, thank you.